What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Final Whistle, episode 73. Connection, I think, is fine now, Nate. If you were watching the first down, my connection was the worst thing ever.
I don't know if you saw, we're still branded as the first down.
Oh, well, watch this. Ready?
You work your magic.
Everybody, welcome back to the Final Whistle. There we go.
Electric stuff.
I forgot we were so branded there. We're back. Final Whistle, bang, episode 73. Crazy NFL week as always. Never a dull NFL week. What do we want to get into first here, Nate? A lot of games. So we can start with.
You want to start with Thursday Night Football?
Yeah, Seahawks Cardinals was a fun game. Game went into overtime. Or did it? Yeah, it went into overtime, right?
No,
did not go to overtime. The Seahawks got it before. What a snooze fest this game was. This game sucked. The Cardinals suck, and they have a Marvin Harrison Jr. problem, Nate. And how are they going to fix this problem? I have no clue, because this guy sucks. Like Marv stinks. He caught a touchdown pass, but he had two costly errors that cost them. Well, the one, he stopped running his route, they threw a pick. The one, it hit off his hands and they got a pick. Think about how good Marv was in college. And I mean, in high school, because I kind of followed him in high school a little bit. This guy was supposed to be by now in the league. What is this year? Is this year 2 for Marv?
Year two.
Like, people were predicting this guy to be top 5 by year 2, which, I mean, he was an unbelievable talent at OSU. I remember I said, I don't know if you remember this back at IUP on our show. I said that if I was a GM, I would draft this guy first overall.
Yeah, you did.
I said it was a guy that's just going to change your franchise. And it's not like Marv sucks. I mean, he's not good. But, like, man, this guy's been a flop so far. He's been decent, but he just hasn't. Yeah, Whitnap says he's the UFC still the best receiver, but you can't have the yips if you want to be a team's best wide receiver. You literally just can't. Yeah, I don't think he's not a better. I'll take Drake London over Marvin Harrison. I'll take obviously Amon-Ra. I'll take no one on the Chargers. I'll take Neighbors over him. Like, I'm trying to think of wide receiver 2s. Like,
you take Pickens?
That's who I was thinking. I think I'll take George Pickens over Marvin Harrison Jr. for now.
Right now.
I'll take Marv over Calvin Ridley. I'll take Jalen Waddle over Marv.
Okay, if you're thinking wide receiver
T. Higgins over Marv.
Okay, would you go this far, Calvin Austin, if you're talking wide receiver?
No, God, no.
Thank goodness.
That's a big drop off. No, I'm not insane.
So
but Marv stunk so far, Nate. And I mean, like, this guy was supposed to come in the league, light it up, and be talked about in the same conversation as the Jefferson Chase, but he's not. And he's been bad. He doesn't have breakout games. He doesn't score. Now, is it Kyler Murray's fault? I don't know. Kyler Murray puts the ball in his hands and he drops it. Last week, before this week, there was a ball coming and there was no one over, and he just dropped it through his arms like this. It was actually one of the worst drops I've seen in the NFL ever. And this guy's supposed to have the best hands ever, and he doesn't.
It's gonna be interesting to see how he bounces back, because I agree with Nevin. I think he has the yips. Definitely, he's definitely still their best wide receiver option by far. Because I think Marvin Harrison Jr. has, of course, we've seen the signs. We've seen it in the NFL so far. He's had big games where he's had these random breakout games, but then he disappears for a while. But like you brought up Kyler Murray. This is your QB1. You can't be having a 28 QBR in a divisional matchup. Kyler Murray, I believe in a lot, but like, he's shown signs of being like, is he actually the guy to get the Cardinals back to the promised land? And I think it's worth a talking point, because I really like Kyler Murray, but a QBR 28, a rating of 73.2. To put it in comparison, Sam Darnold of the Seahawks had a QBR this game of 75.3 to Kyler's 28. Now, I also take a good takeaway I have from this game is I think the Seattle Seahawks are better than what people thought, because I didn't think they were going to be complete garbage. I thought they were going to be hovering around the wild card all year, and they're looking better than what a lot of people have thought they were, because people thought the Seahawks team was the basement of this division. They looked pretty good. Smith and Jigba has looked really good. 4 for 79. Kenneth Walker looked good. Sam Darnold has looked like the Sam Darnold competent as last year. Cooper Kupp had a big game in Pittsburgh a few weeks ago. Elijah Arroyo out of nowhere, 44 yards. Zach Charbonnet is a very solid number 2 running back. Their defense, Witherspoon is back. Ernest Jones the fourth. Their defense is solid too. This Seahawks team, for example, went into Pittsburgh and put up 31 on the Steelers defense, the supposed best defense in the league that we talk about all the time. The Seahawks, I think the takeaway from this through 4 weeks, I think they're better than what a lot of people think. They're now 2-0 on the road. They beat a solid Steelers team, and then they beat a division rival in their home stadium. The Cardinals, I think, are still a good team. I don't think they're the odds-on bet to make the playoffs. They're like, this whole division has the opportunity to do something funny and just everyone make the playoffs. Like, it depends on what happens and if the Commanders or Cowboys flop, because you could have a division with all 4 teams in the playoffs. You just have to be good enough for all the second, third, and fourth place teams with good enough winning records to sneak in. If, for say, the NFC East all kills each other off, like the Commanders, Eagles, and Cowboys can't agree, and only one makes it, per se, the Eagles. Commanders and then the Commanders and Cowboys just beat each other up too much. This division could take some spots, but I think the takeaway from this is the Cardinals have things to work on. Clearly the receivers, because we saw Trey McBride have 7 on 11 targets. He as well was targeted a lot. They just couldn't connect a little bit. But my takeaway, my biggest one, is not really Marvin Harrison. I think the Seahawks are a lot better than what people think. I think they have a lot of good options, and it's going to be interesting to see if they can keep this up.
Yeah, Seahawks are solid, but my biggest takeaway is that Marv sucks.
Yeah, you're good.
Vikings Steelers, covered that on the final whistle first down.
Let's cover it really quick here for these guys.
Sure.
Ireland game, 24-21 final. Just keep it brief. It was 24-6. Steelers let it get closer. It's cause for concern. We talked about on our recap we did a couple minutes ago. Rodgers, the MVP of this game, I gave it to Kenneth Gainwell. He stepped up big for Jaylen Warren, 19 for 99. He's the first Steelers running back this year to get over 50 yards rushing. Now, Jaylen Warren has had a good season, but he hasn't been able to crack 50 because the O-line hasn't been that good, and he's been more of a receiving back. Now, Jaylen Warren, of course, fantasy owners all over the world, if you had him, I'm sorry, I didn't have him. I know you didn't have him either. So it was pretty funny that people were trusting him to start, and he was hurt. And because this was 9:30 in the morning, no one was awake for it, unless if you were like me. I got up at 9:29 for this game. But yeah, DK Metcalf had an 80-yard reception. Good game for him, 5 of 126. Got all 5 of his targets. The thing about DK Metcalf I've seen watching these games, he's had some bad drops. He went 5 for 5. Rodgers found him all 5 times. And then the other side, Justin Jefferson, the big question mark for the Steelers we went into last week was the middle of the field. They were able to hit Justin Jefferson a lot in the middle of the field. 10 for 11, 126 yards. They did keep him out of the end zone, so that's good. But yeah, the Vikings, I don't think they have much to worry about. I think with the offense that they have, no matter who the QB is, they'll still be competent. If it's McCarthy, if it's Carson Wentz, because I said this last week, going into our Steelers preview and stuff. Carson Wentz gave me the vibes of they literally could have started Carson Wentz over JJ McCarthy, because they could have just said, you know what, let's give McCarthy a little bit more time. He is coming off a year of injury. Carson Wentz could have been their starter. He still put up 350 on the Steelers. I know a lot of it was in garbage time, and a lot of it was off of that. I think it was 81-yard pass completion to Jordan Addison. But besides that, it is what it is. I think the Vikings are going to be okay. I think the Steelers are in a good position with how the division will get to the rest of the games whenever all these injuries and stuff in the Cleveland Browns. But yeah, Steelers win at 24-21. You have any final thoughts on that one?
No.
Okay. I know you said you were kind of sleepy for it. So
yeah. Commanders Falcons. This is a good game. Man, I in the beginning of this game, I was like, man, Penix looks bad, but he pulled himself together. Listen, Penix played pretty well. 6 incompletions, 13 yards. Man, he looked good. Bijan, man. I mean, I'll bite my tongue what I said about Bijan. I didn't think he was going to be this explosive and have this good of a year. He's having a monster year. And, to be fair, the Falcons are a good team. They're a solid team. Drake London's good. Kyle Pitts is having a good year, Nate. Commanders don't have Jaden Daniels, so it's really hard to base anything off of this Commanders team right now. Hopefully when Jayden Daniels comes back, this team looks like they did last year. But until then, it's just not a fair assessment of the Commanders team. The Falcons looked fine. They looked good. And, they put up points. That's what they've struggled with. So they're fine.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you're a Commanders fan, this is getting a little. Do we know if like a concern of like how long Jayden Daniels is out or not?
He should be coming back any week now.
Okay, I hope it's soon for them because if you're an Eagles or Cowboys fan, because the Cowboys, I think they could still be a wild card team if they win enough games. But especially how Sunday Night Football went, that could have easily been a loss. They got away with the tie, which we'll get to in a little bit. But the Commanders they need to start rattling off some wins. If it's Marcus Mariota another week, I think he played okay enough to give them a chance to win. But of course, they lose by about a touchdown. Michael Penix Jr., though, looks really good. I think he looks solid. I know you said he kind of started out slow, but like 313 yards, 2 touchdowns, a pick. Only was sacked once, a QBR of 90.5, rating of 126. If there's anything, have you played the new Madden yet? I know it's off topic. Do you do any franchise?
No, I haven't yet.
Bro, franchise mode loves Michael Penix. Every single week, this dude is in MVP talks. If Madden sees something, Madden, it's interesting. But Michael Penix Jr. looks pretty solid. He looked really solid this game. I really also like what the Commanders defense can do, but they had a bad week this week. They gave a lot of points to this Falcons team. Are the Falcons legit? I think they can be, but I think it's still the Bucs division to lose. I know they just lost to the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles are just a really good team, but this Falcons team, they could be an interesting wild card spot. Maybe they give the Bucs some problems because we all know the Panthers and Saints aren't winning the NFC South. But yeah, both teams 2-2. If for the future of the season, I think the Commanders have the better outlook, but it's getting the trust from the Falcons. Like we've seen it before with the Falcons. They will finish like with 7 to 9 wins. They'll be in that range. Will they make the playoffs? Don't know for sure. But yeah, this was a good game to follow. Of course, I wasn't really watching this one because I was watching another game that was on. But yeah, you want to get to this surprisingly close game, Bills Saints for a while.
This wasn't close. I mean,
for a while it was.
Yeah, like it was, but like Spencer Rattler's what 0-10 in his career. He sucks. Spencer Rattler is very bad, and I thought he was bad in college. His claim to fame is being on a Netflix show, which I think if he wasn't on that show, he's not in the NFL. He's not where he was. I mean, he was a Heisman candidate somehow. Coming into a season, and man, I just think he stinks. But like, I think that this Saints team might be one of the worst teams I've ever seen in the NFL. And I mean, they kept it close, which is fine. The Bills won. It's all that matters. They're 4-0. They're probably they are one of the best teams in the NFL. They're probably top 2. Yeah, and it doesn't matter how much they won by. The Saints barely scored points and had to claw for every score. It seemed like Josh Allen just effortlessly was scoring points when he needed to. But the Bills, this was not their full strength, obviously.
Yeah, I think the MVP for the Bills, I know it's Josh Allen, but James Cook has had a great year so far.
He's had a monster year.
22 rushes, 117-yard, long of 15, and a touchdown, averaging 5.3 a carry this week. I know it is the Saints, and I'll ask you this question. I know the under is already hit on Jackson Dart becoming the starter. What's the over-under for Tyler Shough actually starting a game over Spence? Why is it not now?
Like a week or two. I don't know. Like,
is it week 7? You want to do that?
If that 6 or 7. Like it's
yeah.
It's one of those weeks. Spencer Rattler is garbage, but I don't think the Saints want to win. I wouldn't want to win. You're already 0-4. The season's over.
They are clearly. Do you think they're going to be 0-16? Do they have the chances to do that?
Yeah, they do. They really do.
Or do they sneak? Or 0-17, I think now.
So. They have a bad. I mean, they play the Panthers twice a year. So,
has any NFL team since the schedule change actually gone 0-17 yet? You think the Saints are the first?
No, they play the Panthers twice.
So you think they're going to steal one against
Panthers? Panthers are almost as bad.
So we good to move on then? Anything else to add?
Yeah,
my thing before we move on really quick, my thing is with Rattler, he's destined to be a backup. He's not a starter. He's on a team that's the only team that would actually start him. He's a QB3 even.
Yeah.
Browns Lions.
This was an interesting game. This was close in the first quarter. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm bored by how bad the Saints were. Yeah, and then the Lions just just put the hammer down after this. But the Browns stink, and I mean there is new news. It's that Joe Flacco's done in Cleveland. Done. Dunzo. Dylan Gabriel will be your starting quarterback in Cleveland moving forward, Nate.
How long until Shedeur?
I don't know, but I really need. I hate the Browns, but I love Shadosi, so like I hope not. I hope that he gets traded somewhere. That'd be kind of lit. Yeah.
My takeaway with this, I don't really have much, is the Lions week 1 was clearly a fluke. I know they were playing the Packers. They probably could have whooped the Packers any other week. It was in Green Bay. I think the Lions are really good. I think they were actually my Super Bowl pick over the Bills, if I'm not mistaken. This offense is fun. I know they had a stinker of week 1, but ever since they beat wasn't it the Ravens?
Yes.
Yeah, they whooped Baltimore. Well, I wouldn't say whooped them, but 38-30. They whooped the Bears, who have looked pretty solid, 52-21, and then they whooped Cleveland after a tied first quarter, 34-10. This Lions team is legit. I think they took week
Very
1.
Good.
Week 1 was a very personal loss for that team.
Yes,
because ever since they put up 52 points, 38 points on Lamar's Ravens. I know their defense has been bleh, but they were getting a shootout against the Baltimore Ravens, who can put up points, and then they put pedal to the metal against they beat a bad team, how a bad team should have got beat. This Lions team is legit. I don't want anyone to see week 1 and say, oh yeah, Packers are better. Sure, they won week 1. I like the Lions more than the Packers this year anyway. So I'm going to move on to the boring game, Patriots-Panthers.
This game stunk as well. I mean, I think my biggest takeaway for this game, it has nothing to do with the Patriots. Man, is it time
for Bryce? We said this last year, and then he came back and looked pretty solid.
Nate, he's bad. And I know everyone wants to believe in Bryce Young. I mean, Andy Dalton had to come into this game. And Andy Dalton I can't believe Andy Dalton is not in a broadcast booth yet. Like this guy.
That is a very good point.
like what is going on? Bryce Young, man. I mean, it's not even like he's throwing interceptions. First of all, it's his fault, but it's not his fault. Help him, get him out of there. But I want to see if he's good anywhere else. Which, like, I mean, you got to think the Panthers had Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold a few years ago, and like they were laughing stocks there. They both got benched. Like, and now look at Sam Darnold. Now look at Baker Mayfield. It just shows how much it's the system. Bryce Young has shown flashes, but it's the Panthers. They are a more pathetic organization. They're the most pathetic organization in the NFL easily. They don't care about winning. It's pretty clear. They have Tet, who's been solid for them, but besides that, Nate, this team is a joke. And the Patriots aren't a much better team, I think. Drake May looked mid as hell. They have no rushing game at all. I mean, you have a 5-man they run 3 running backs: Gibson, Henderson, Stevenson. That is, I hate that. By the way, Diggs had a solid game, but this team, I don't think this Patriots team's any good at all.
I'm going to disagree with you on the Drake May looking mid. Drake May had a really good game. 14-17, 203, 94.6 QBR, 155.6 rating.
Statistically good game, but I think
that's a good game for Drake May. I think right now he's in that range of borderline can be good. I think he is good already. I think he's good for the Patriots system. Yeah. I think they have a guy in Drake May. He's looking like, besides Jaden Daniels, I think one of the best QBs in that class. I know Caleb Williams has looked okay, well, pretty good this year by his standards. But yeah, this Panthers team, it's going to be interesting. We said the same thing about Bryce Young last year, and then he comes back, and then he's starting to take the league a little bit by storm. Like, he almost beat the Eagles and Chiefs last year, if we remember that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we're doing with Bryce Young. They need to get him some more help. The only help he really has is McMillan, and I guess besides that, whatever they have.
Yeah.
This Patriots team they're going to be hanging in there. I think a lot of people see him as a little bit of a wild card threat. The AFC this year has been kind of interesting the way it started. Like, the Jaguars are still in it. The Patriots aren't dead. The Jaguars aren't dead. But yeah, and the Ravens have started out sloppy. But yeah, this is a game that is very forgettable because it was not a good game to watch. Chargers, Giants. Giants. How about that?
Jackson Dart looks good, Nate. I think this is your rookie of the year right now. If you can get odds, Jackson Dart's nice, and I mean that whole team is fun. But let's pause because Malik Neighbors towards ACL, and he is donezo. He's out for the year. That hurts this team because think of how you feel coming out of this game. You're the happiest 1-3 team ever if Malik Neighbors doesn't tear his ACL. Like how good they played. They played incredible. Like Jackson Dart looked great. Cam Scatterbo looks really fun to watch. People say he eats crayons. I love that out of him. But it's over. Like you don't have Neighbors now. It's like Wan'Dale Robinson's your wide receiver one. Like, gosh, it's bad. It's a bad watch, Nate. It's a tough watch. It's a tough watch now. The life got sucked out of MetLife. Sucked out of MetLife.
I'm not really as high on Dart as you are saying rookie of the year.
He looked great.
I think like 111 yards, QBR 44.1, rookie debut, I guess. My rookie, like the Chargers, this was a bad loss. Let me just say that. This is a team that could have easily...
Their offense sucks.
They could have got to 4-0. Herbert had a very mid-game for Herbert standards.
Not McConkey's like not real.
Yeah, he's been interesting. Hey, my rookie of the year candidate, Amarian Hampton, had a good game. 12 of 128 for 50 were a touchdown. He was my pick to win rookie of the year for the offense. He had a really good game. He's had a pretty solid start.
Yes.
I'm interested to see what this Chargers team can do. I think he's a good fit for that system. Now, how can they bounce back? That's the other question, but this was a bad loss for the Chargers to take. Yeah. They should be a 4-0 team. And the Giants should be 0-4. But the Giants do get the win. That Malik Neighbors injury, though, that's going to suck for them. And it's going to be interesting. Do you think the Giants could go out and get a wide receiver, another one to replace him, or is it just going to be Rook with the guys they got? I don't know what they're going to do. So this was a bad loss for the Chargers. Solid win for the Giants for their first one of the year against a team that was undefeated at the time. So, anything else to add on that one before we go on to Eagles Bucks?
No, I don't think so.
Okay, Eagles Bucks 31-25, Phillies 4-0.
Man, I mean the Eagles looked sloppy for a second, and then man, they don't gotta throw the ball at all, and they didn't. I don't think Jalen Hurts didn't have a completion in the second half. I think I saw
he only threw the ball 24 times.
Like, oh my God, they don't have to at all. I mean, Barkley, 19 carries for 43 yards. They just know how to win games without having to do anything. Like, being an Eagle has to be the most fun thing on offense. Like, I mean, A.J. Brown not present again, but, like, this is so fun to watch, this Eagles team. And a lot of people hate it, but I have fun watching it. I think Baker Mayfield and the Bucks looked great again. I didn't see enough Chris Godwin. 3 catches for 26 yards in his debut on 10 targets. He was targeted 10 times, caught the ball 3 times. He had 2 drops that were pretty bad. That hit him in the hands. I don't know. Did Chris Godwin lose a step because it looked like Emeka Egbuka is over him in the depth chart?
Yeah, he had a couple bad plays too because he was targeted 10 times as well and only caught the ball 4 times.
Yes.
Weird day for the receivers. Baker Mayfield had a good game, in my opinion, but then he had one of the worst picks I've ever seen. Did you watch the game?
Yeah.
It was the most typical Baker Mayfield. I'm forcing this throw that doesn't have to happen. They showed the replay that he had a guy wide open to the left, but he was forcing a play into triple coverage, which we've seen out of Baker Mayfield many times in the league because he plays hero ball a lot.
Yeah.
And I can respect that type of game because he can be very exciting to watch. But that play, if he found the guy wide open in the end zone, this game is probably a Bucks game. And I know the Eagles also had a blocked, I think, field goal or punt at the beginning of the game that was taken for I think it was a punt. So Philly special teams has been on fire the last 2 weeks. I will give the Bucks credit here. I know Barkley did have a touchdown. They held him to 2.3 a carry. It wasn't the greatest Saquon Barkley game, but they weren't able to stop Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
9 of 62. A.J. Dillon, 3 for 17. They were able to stop Barkley a little bit, but they were allowing chunks to Hurts and A.J. Dillon. But besides that, I mean, I'm not really I'm not worried about Chris Godwin. First game, like you said, he's just came back. Egbuka's been good. I think Godwin's going to be solid. It was just probably one of those days where Baker was having trouble connecting with these guys. Like, they both had 4 receptions, but both of them also had 10 targets. So it's going to be interesting. Bucky Irving, though, 5 receptions on 5 targets for 102 passing yards to him, and he also had 63 rushing yards. He's a big piece of that offense. Nice to see Bucky Irving taking the world by storm, especially how he finished last year. I think this Bucks team is still really good. I think this was a tough loss for them. I think they're going to regroup, but this Philly team, man, we went into it. They were probably the best team on paper going into the playoff, like going into the season. Who does not like that roster? They have everything you could want in a team. They have good coaching. Sirianni, we saw last year, people were calling for his head to be. You're falling for his firing because I think they were 0-2 at the time or 1-2, and it didn't look good. And now he's 4-0. He's kind of silenced all those haters after winning that Super Bowl, especially. They look legit. They look like they could honestly go back to back, and I would not be surprised. They look like they are going to be undefeated for a while, and I want to check their schedule really quick, see actually when they could lose a game. Broncos, I don't know. Their defense looks good. Giants, Vikings, Giants, Packers. Maybe in 5 weeks against Green Bay. That's probably one of their first real threats if they get past Denver. But, man, this Philly team looks pretty good. I don't have anything else to add about this one.
They look like they're going to win the Super Bowl. This is the best team in the NFL.
You think they go back to back the way they look now?
This is easily the best team in the NFL. Yeah.
Okay.
As right now, who's stopping this Eagle? They haven't lost a game since week 6 last year.
The only teams I can think of are the Lions, Bills, and maybe the Packers.
I don't think any of them can, Nate. Maybe the Packers.
Their defense.
Titans, Texans.
Ugh. How about Cam Ward? Yeah.
I don't even like care to talk about this game. I don't. I mean, we can talk about it for a minute, maybe. Cam Ward said that they look terrible, which I like out of Cam Ward. I do like Cam Ward. He's not good, not yet though. I have weird belief in him. But this Titans team gives him no help at all. No help. So I don't know. But it's done.
Yeah, this was awesome. My quick takeaway is this was a game the Texans desperately needed to win.
Yeah.
If they went 0-4, they're done. They're done. I know teams can get back from that and maybe sneak into the playoffs. Like, I still think the Ravens are going to be a good team despite having a bad record. But it's like, you can't be 0-4 as the Houston Texans, who are that big of a favorite in that division every year. I know the Colts have been good, but like CJ Stroud finally had a good game. We haven't seen really that out of CJ Stroud in a bit, it seems. Because last year, a lot of people had MVP aspirations for CJ Stroud, and he had that sophomore slump. So he's kind of been mid so far this year, but this was a good game for CJ Stroud.
He's been bad this year, except for this game, which
he
didn't even have a good game until that fourth quarter. He was putting up a stinker as well. It was 6-6, or it was 6-0 until the fourth quarter.
Yeah, he needed that fourth quarter badly, and I don't know. This Texans team, I don't know what to think about them, but it's not looking good so far.
Get into what I think was the best game of Sunday. Colts Rams was an unbelievable game. Matthew Stafford looked good. Daniel Jones looked great. Had one really bad pick, but oh man, Adonai Mitchell, what an error he had.
Oh yeah.
I don't know how that happens. It happens every year, but how does that happen? How do you let the ball go through the end zone? I have no clue.
You know, the Colts, they've been fun. And this was a game that I think they needed. Well, because if they were to lose a game, this is a game that they needed to lose now to maybe look at themselves and be like, you know what? We do have our flaws. Because I think this Colts team could actually make some chaos. They remind me of the Vikings last year. Everyone wrote off, like, I was not high on the Vikings. I don't think you were either.
No.
We both had them stinking up the joint. I had them as like a 4-5 win team last year, and then Sam Darnold blew everyone away. Daniel Jones has the possibility to become the next New York former Giant or Jet quarterback to go elsewhere in his first year, and he's already at a 3-1 record. He played pretty good football the first 2-3 weeks. This week he did have the 2 picks, but like 262 still for Daniel Jones. But this Rams team, I'm really high on the Rams. I like how they look. The Rams are going to be fun. Matthew Stafford, 375, 3 touchdowns. Kyron Williams, good game. Puka Nacua. How about this?
But Nate, this
killed it on fantasy. 170 yards for Puka.
I'm getting kind of tired of the Puka glaze. Now, I know he's a great receiver, but Matthew Stafford throws this guy the ball a bajillion times a game. Obviously, he's going to have 100+ yard games. Now, it was the same thing happened with Cooper Kupp. Remember when I was not high on Cooper Kupp?
Cooper Kupp's still good.
But remember when he had that Triple Crown season, I was saying
Cooper
Kupp is not top 5. Puka Nacua is not top 5. I'm sorry, he's not.
I think he's borderline.
Sure.
You're putting up the numbers, you deserve it.
He's putting up the numbers because he gets fed like a horse.
Well, you can't help it. You still have Devontae Adams on that team.
Again, it doesn't make you a better receiver than someone like Malik Neighbors, or like Neighbors is hurt now, but like a guy like Jamar Chase. Just because Nacua has better stats by a landslide this year, he's not a better receiver than Jamar Chase.
Well, the problem is too, Nacua is getting open. So why wouldn't you throw to the open guy?
You can throw to Jamar Chase. It doesn't matter. Like Jamar Chase is open every play.
I understand the whole target thing. He had 13 catches, but I can't ignore the 170 yards.
Neither can I. Puka had great games, but he's not like these stats are like they're a little inflated. I'm sorry, they are. Puka's great, but I'm sorry.
You're just a Puka hater.
No, I'm a Matthew Stafford picking one person and making.
You don't like Matt Stafford. That's what it is.
I'm perfectly fine with Matt Stafford, but I don't like whenever Cooper Kupp was having his year, I was like, guys, this guy is not like a better receiver than that. I was saying he wasn't top 5, and I was going insane. And now look at Cooper Kupp. So
Cooper Kupp
he doesn't have Stafford. Is he?
Yeah. You saw what he did against the Steelers a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
he's a solid number 2 now behind Jackson Smith and Jigba is the guy in Seattle.
How do you go from best player in football, best receiver in the league to a number 2 in 3 years?
Because you're going to get outplayed by the younger guy at that point. You're new to the system in Seattle. That's why.
No, it's because you're not who you were. And
I'm sorry, I can't ignore him winning the Triple Crown. I think Cooper Kupp disrespect wild.
I will disrespect Cooper Kupp. I think that season was so Mickey Mouse, but go for it.
Okay. But yeah, you're open. You're fine. I'm fine with your opinion there. But yeah, this Rams team, I think they're going to be fun. I think they're solid. They still got Devontae Adams too. He put up 56 yards. He had a good game too. Tutu Atwell as well. 1 reception on 2 targets on 88 yards for him as long had the touchdown. This Rams team's fun. I think the takeaway though is this was a game the Colts. I think it was a good loss for the Colts. This is a game that they're going to build on. I think to determine. I hope remember the Saints last year? They started I think 4-0 or something like that. Then they completely fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
I hope they're not the Saints of this year. Because they're playing like that Saints team did. Because they were hot last year.
Yeah.
And then they lost Derek Carr, and then it went off a cliff. It was bad. Jaguars, Niners. Jaguars.
This game sucked as well. I'm sorry.
Niners
Brock Purdy,
undefeated no more.
It's time. It's time we lean into the accusations, Nate. The agenda's there. Brock Purdy is. Give me Mac Jones. Give me Mac Jones.
I won't go that far yet.
I don't think that Brock Purdy is worth the money he got. This is Christian McCaffrey's offense. He's the best receiver and running back on this team, which is weird to say, but he is. Sorry.
Yeah, it's been a weird start for this Niners team. They feel like they shouldn't be 3-1.
Yeah,
but they are. But this Jaguars team, they've been a little frisky. They're 3-1 as well. They're another one of the surprising AFC team. It was from a big second quarter. They put up 17 points. Trevor Lawrence had another Trevor Lawrence-esque game, 21-31, only 174 yards, a touchdown, no picks. Travis Etienne Jr., though, MVP of the game, 19 for 124 and a touchdown. Brian Thomas Jr. had an okay game, 5 for 49. Other than that, Travis Hunter, 3 for 42 for Travis Hunter enjoyers. But yeah, this was the Travis Etienne Jr. game for the Jaguars. But they're getting okay enough play out of Trevor Lawrence. I know this is a big year for Trevor Lawrence to silence those doubters because we are now in, I think, he drafted in 2021. We are now, I think, 4 years into Trevor Lawrence. He's already been given that extension, and he's pretty mid. So he's reminding me of Kyler Murray, but slightly worse. Very mid QBs, but they're elevated on a pedestal. I think Kyler Murray is better than Trevor Lawrence. But this is a big year for Trevor Lawrence. He's 3-1. He's got the Jaguars to that record. Sure, some guys have had big games to help him along the way. He needs a lot. He needs to prove a lot this year. You have anything else to add on this one?
Nope.
Moving on. Ravens Chiefs. This was a game that, the Ravens look bad. They lost Lamar. I think he's out for a couple weeks, you said. I didn't see the official news on that, but they couldn't do any. This Chiefs team, they were a fluke 0-2. Now they're immediately 2-2. 37-20. And the Ravens scored a garbage time touchdown, by the way. So What do you think? What's going on? The Ravens defense looks bad. They just lost
They lost what, like four of their best defenders. That's why their defense looks bad. Lamar.
Yeah.
Listen, I thought Lamar was fine. I'm talking injury wise. I think that injury was I thought he was faking it when he was like, all right, I'm done. I'm just gonna leave this game. Like, we're getting waxed. I guess not. I guess he's out 2 to 3 weeks apparently. And the Chiefs, man, they look good. They started 0-2, and now look.
Now they're normal.
They look like the Chiefs.
Yeah. This Ravens team, it's going to be interesting because if Cooper Rush is going to be playing, this is who they got. You said 2 to 3 weeks for Lamar. Texans, Rams, Bears. All at home. All in Baltimore. But they're already 1-3. You cannot go 1-6.
Yeah, no.
Sure, you could still finish 11-6, but like the Ravens did have a hot end of last year, but tough. Derrick Henry had a sloppy game. In my opinion, it wasn't the best Derrick Henry game we have seen. Xavier Worthy, though, had a really good game. Hollywood Brown had a good game. Juju had a touchdown. Good for the former Stiller. But yeah, this was a game that the Chiefs put pedal to the metal. Like I said, the Ravens did have a garbage time touchdown by Justice Hill at a 71-yarder. Cool, but it was garbage time. I don't think the Chiefs cared. 37-20. It could have easily been 37-13. So big game for the Chiefs. Big win. That's all I have on that one. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what the Chiefs do once Rashee Rice comes back. They're gonna be dangerous.
Yeah. Bears Raiders
again, another stinker. Caleb Williams is such a fraud, Nate. Like I'm sorry, I'm so off him. But this is great for my agenda. Do you know why?
Which agenda? You have a couple agendas. Who is that? Oh, Kenny. Why do you have Kenny Pickett holding a Super Bowl as your wallpaper?
The best ever. This is the best. This is good for the Kenny agenda. Why? Ben Chino dig Kenny. But I hate Caleb Williams. He sucks. Like I think he's terrible. I'm so sorry. Like I cannot stand the glaze he's getting right now at 2-2. Genty had a great game, a breakout game, you could say. I care more about how much I think Caleb Williams sucks, by the way. I hope everyone knows how much I think this guy sucks. He sucks.
You know why I think the Bears are he's getting that glaze right now?
Why?
Because the Bears are a surprising 2-2. That's why.
I guess. I mean, you beat the Raiders. Nice. Congrats.
So, Rome Odunze has had a pretty solid season. Pretty good year 2 so far.
Yeah, Rome looks great.
I think Williams has had a better year 2 so far than what we saw in year 1, definitely. But last week had a really good game. This week kind of went back to that mid-level Caleb Williams we've seen. Had 212 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Not a good QBR. Not a great rating. Yeah, it's funny. QBR-wise, he had Geno Smith beat by about 20 points. Rating-wise, they were about the same. 73.3 for Caleb, 73 even for Geno Smith.
Yeah.
And Geno Smith had 3 interceptions. So this is one of those games that the Raiders are probably like, man, Raiders could easily be 2-2 right now if they got a little bit more from Geno. This was the breakout game for Ashton Genty. 21 for 138, long of 64 and a touchdown. Brock Bowers had a solid game. He's kind of been quiet so far this year, in my opinion. But yeah, nothing else really to talk about that besides Ashton Genty having a great game. But they still lost. How about this tie? I didn't watch this whole game.
Is this the worst thing in sports? The NFL having ties? Is it the worst thing in sports? How do you fix overtime, but then be like, nah, like ties are cool, but overtime was a problem.
All it does is cause chaos. It causes chaos.
It literally just screws up everyone's record and matchmaking at the end of the season. It's the worst thing. No other sport ends in a tie besides soccer, which is like, if you're an NFL fan, soccer's like what you're like anti. You're like, I hate those soccer. You know, I hate people that are like, well, soccer, it's a stupid sport. It's because they can tie. Why would you ever want a tie in the NFL? It's the worst thing in sports. Number one, the worst thing in sports. Why? Why is it a thing? We had a barn burner, and we're just like, yep, we're just gonna tie it.
Yeah.
What?
I'm happy I didn't watch this live.
I did, and it was a great game. I think Jordan Love looked good. Cowboys agenda is my Cowboys agenda is still there. It's gonna be tough now. Cowboys really easily could have won this game. There was a Jordan Love that ball might have not hit the ground before 1 second. So
How
they
about
did get kind of bailed out. Pickens had a great game, and again.
It makes me depressed.
Yeah, I love George. I still think DK is having a better year, but George is a great talent.
8 for 134, man.
Yeah, I miss it, but it's fine. We have DK, but the Cowboys look good. The Packers looked bad for what they were. They figured it out. They still scored 40 points. They let up 40 points. It's supposed to be the best defense in the NFL, letting up 40 points to the Cowboys without CeeDee Lamb. That's scary. That's a problem. That's a major, major, major problem if you're a Packers fan. Major problem. Letting up 40 points to the Cowboys without CeeDee Lamb. That's a huge problem.
Yeah, personally, like I had work in the morning, so I didn't watch this game full. But like, if you watched it, did one team so you're thinking the Cowboys actually deserved this win more than the Packers?
Yes, I think so.
So that would have had both teams 2-2. My favorite thing I saw the next day was Jerry Jones is like, "Oh, we still left with a tie." About talking about the revenge game. Now, Micah Parsons did have a sack. Looking at it, also 2 QB hits, so he almost had 3 sacks. But yeah, this is a weird situation where both teams, this might screw them out of a playoff spot, especially if they're Cowboys.
Yeah,
because the Cowboys, this could be a tiebreaker between the them and the Packers. Because the Packers, if they don't win the division in the NFC North, this tie could come back to screw them over. But this looks like it was a great Sunday Night Football game. What sucks is it ended in the tie.
Yeah.
Because this is a high-scoring game on a Sunday Night Football, overtime. What more you could ask for? Not a tie. I think they need to fix that. It's one of the worst parts about football. I understand it, but like you said, it's not European football. This is American football, and we don't want ties. Moving on to the 2 Monday Night Football games before we go. Jets-Dolphins. The big story was Tyreek Hill. Ugh, he's out for the year.
That was gross. That was a disgusting injury. He dislocated his knee, tore his ACL, and multiple other ligaments. Kind of what happened with Nick Chubb when he was on the Browns. Nate, I think this guy's career's over.
I was talking about that today with some people. You think if he even comes back, he's on 1-year deals every year like Keenan Allen?
What's Tyreek Hill known for?
Him on the Chiefs.
What's Tyreek Hill known for as a player?
Speed.
Bang. And you don't have a leg now. Look at this. Look, Nick Chubb lost. Like, guys get hurt and they lose a step. Nick Chubb got hurt and lost 2 steps. If Tyreek Hill loses half a step, he's not like Tyreek Hill is Tyreek Hill because he is the fastest guy in the NFL. Now, I don't think he comes back and is the fastest guy in the NFL. He's already getting up there in age to where you have to work on your speed, your mobility every single day, every week. Now you have to wait a year before you can start running. Like, for one, I don't think Tyreek Hill has the grit. Like, he's talked about how much he like what he wants to do after the NFL. I'll let you look that up. Like, it doesn't seem like he wants. Like, he was cheering. He was like, "Let's go!" Like, that felt really weird to me.
Yeah, you see him.
We know he wants to be out from the Dolphins. I
just saw a video of him on the ambulance. Someone saw him on the road.
Yeah,
he
was
like
smiling.
he looked happy recording on his
Yes.
phone. I don't know what to think about this.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a bad look for him, like cheering. Tua had a weird comment at the end of the game.
I did see that.
This Dolphin, both these teams suck. The Jets suck as well. But oh my God, what a good, terrible game this was. The Jets, I do want to talk about the Jets for a second. Justin Fields, man.
Is he the definition of mid?
I think he's a little less than mid.
Overhyped?
Yeah, he had a long rush, which was crazy, but
heard he blew right past Minka.
Yeah, which is, I think the Minka trade worked out pretty well for us so far.
Yeah, hopefully Ramsey's okay though.
I think he's out for about 2 weeks, but yeah.
Hopefully we have a bye.
Correct. This Dolphins team is bad, and they're going to get way, way worse. If I was a Dolphins fan, I wouldn't be like, cool, we won, but our season's over. We're already 1-3. We don't have our best player, and now it's too good to throw the ball to Jalen Waddle as a number 1 wide receiver. Your season's over. Like, you got it. The thing that sucks with these teams right now is the draft class this year is not that good. The draft class next year is cracked. So, like, it's the worst time to, like, be terrible in the NFL. It's the worst time because the draft class sucks and everyone wants Ryan Williams, Jeremiah Smith, and Like, imagine Jeremiah Smith goes to the Dolphins. Like, that's what they need bad. So I don't know. Dolphins they're in piss.
Yeah, this is interesting. What's going to happen with them? I don't know. I don't really have much to add about this one. I'm more interested to talk about the next one where the Bengals got cooked. They missed Joe Burrow, and also the Jets do look really bad. But yeah, Bengals lose 28-3 in Denver. Denver's defense is really good, but it's the Bengals every year. Joe Burrow gets hurt, they're cooked, they're dead, they're done. What's going on? Like, Jamar Chase killed everyone's fantasy teams. He's only getting 23 yards. T. Higgins getting 32. What do we want Jake Browning to do? Like, they need better backups because they should be signing up for this every year. Like, Steelers at least have Mason Rudolph. The Ravens have at least a Cooper Rush. The Bengals, Jake Browning.
There's one man that can save the Bengals.
Who's that man? Kenny Pickett?
Famous Jameis Winston can save
yeah.
the Bengals. He can save Jamar Chase's season because Jake Browning, man, he stinks. Russell Wilson's an option as well. You got to go get a quarterback. You can't just let this young guy, Jamar Chase, rot away on your team, man. Oh my God, this team is terrible. They are terrible. They are blessed. They started 2-0, blessed, because they'd be 0-4 right now. 0-4 right now. They are. I think it's them Browns for the worst team in the NFL. I mean, the Steelers have a layup to make the playoffs. A layup. You play the Bengals and Browns twice a year. Oh my God, you got a layup. Jesus, Nate. I mean, Bo Nix looked solid, I think. I'd say he looked good, actually. J.K. Dobbins looked decent. Their running game is pretty fun to watch. They run the ball a lot of times. Pretty balanced offense from the Broncos. Would have liked to see them put up more than 28 points when Cincinnati was punting the ball every drive. But, I mean, I think I really don't have anything to say about this Denver team. I think the biggest issue is just this Bengals team, man. It is pathetic. Pathetic, Nate.
Every year they lose Joe Burrow, they just look bad. They need, like I said, just invest in better backups. It's not like nothing against Jake Browning. He's not a good backup. He's like a QB3. You think they could rather have Andy Dalton return? And they look better, I guess. I don't know. I can't blame them for this, but it's like they do this to themselves. They have the Lions, Packers, and Steelers next too. I think the season might be over really quick. But then Joe Burrow will come back in December, and then they'll magically win every game. Sure. And they'll somehow finish 9-8 or 8-9. And then they'll almost make the playoffs like they did last year. And Joe Burrow will have this magical almost MVP season yet again. They're weird. I don't know what the heck they're doing. Trey Hendrickson wanted out. They signed him for a year extension. Who is the rookie? I forget what his name is already. They almost let him go.
For who?
For the Bengals.
Oh, the guy on defense?
Yeah, who almost went back to college? I can't find his name on here. Did he even play?
I don't think
he hurt.
I don't think he's like that. I don't think he's like a good player for them.
Well, that was their first round pick, and he almost went back to college. This team is dysfunctional, but this also is a test to see. Like the Denver Broncos allowed 3 points. Their defense is just absurd. They're really good. They hold teams to just punt the ball away. It doesn't have to be through picks and fumbles. They forced them to punt the ball a good bit. Like, they only punted it once, of course. But, like, other than that, I mean, what else? Oh, no, 8 times. 8 punts they forced. I read the wrong stat. Yeah, this Broncos team is good. They have a reigning depoy on that side. Maybe another one. Who knows what's going to happen. But, yeah, that's the week. They're 2-2. Weird. I don't know. It wasn't the greatest week of football. It was a weird week. Couple clunker of games. We'll have the preview couple days. So,
yeah. Well, yeah, that's going to do it for today's episode. Good recap. A lot of fun stuff happened. A lot of crazy bad injuries, and yeah. But we'll see you guys next time. And thanks for tuning in.
Yep. See you guys.